So, you've made the decision to move to Whitby, Ontario, and you have a young family, and you're wondering what are the best schools in town and what are the houses surrounding those schools? What are my options when I'm looking to move to Whitby, Ontario? I want to make sure my kids get a great education. You are right there with all these other parents, and I'm very excited to tell you that you have stumbled on the perfect video for you. I just ask that you hang with me on the other side of this intro for a lot more information on the top 5 public elementary schools in Whitby, Ontario. Hey everybody, it's Rob Marsiglio here again with the Robert Marsiglio Realty Group, and today, like I said off the top, I'm excited to break down the top 5 public elementary schools in Whitby, Ontario for you. When I'm going through and like you're wondering, how do you decide the top 5? What I'm doing is I'm pulling information from the Fraser Institute, who they do school rankings all across the province of Ontario. So I'll actually get a rating out of 10 based on standardized testing. It's at the grade 3 and the grade 6 levels, as well as the ranking in Ontario too out of just over 3,000 schools. So I'll give you both of those numbers each time. Then I'll dive into very quickly a little assortment of the home types, the kind of rough sales histories going back to April of 2022, kind of what you can expect to be paying for each home type in that area, and a couple highlights from the neighborhood as well each time. So I hope that this video brings you some value. And without further ado, let's get right into our number 5 top ranked public school. So kicking things off is going to be Whitby Shores Public School. And if you've guessed already by the name, it is located in the Whitby Shores neighborhood. So this is down the south end of Whitby, south of the 401, right along Lake Ontario, close to the Whitby Harbor, all those things. So in terms of rankings, the Fraser Institute ranks it a 7.7 out of 10. That puts it in 449th place out of just over 3,000 schools. So the boundaries for this catchment zone are Victoria Street to the north, Gordon Street to the east, Lynn Creek to the west, and Lake Ontario to the south. And this school specifically serves around 700 students from kindergarten up to grade 8, and it feeds into Henry Street High School. Now, the pocket has a wide variety of home types, everything from condo apartments up to 4-bedroom detached homes. In the last 2 months, the spread of home sales is between $900,000 to $970,000 for a townhome, and between $960,000 and $1.7 million for a detached home. Touch on the area roughly. You have Lake Ridge Health Whitby, Lynn Shores Conservation Area, the Iroquois Park Sports Center, the Waterfront Trail, and the Whitby Harbor. So if these landmarks aren't right in the neighborhood, they're within a 2-minute drive of homes in this pocket. Coming in at number 4 on our list is John Dryden Public School. So Whitby Shores was down in the southwest part of town. We're heading northeast now, closer to the Oshawa border, where you will find John Dryden Public. It is rated a 7.9 out of 10 according to the Fraser Institute, and it is 346th out of just over those 3,000 schools in the province. So it's located in the Rolling Acres neighborhood, and the catchment zone boundaries are Thixon Street to the west, Dryden to the north, the Whitby-Oshawa border to the east, and Rossland to the south. Now, the school serves students from kindergarten right through to grade 8, and they feed into Sinclair Secondary School. There's also a French immersion program at John Dryden that goes from grade 1 up to grade 8. And if you're looking at the catchment zone for the French immersion, you can kind of consider it East Whitby. So you are looking kind of from the Whitby-Oshawa border to Thixon. There's a couple outcrops as well there. There's also up from the north, it's Taunton, all the way down to the lake. So that's going to be the catchment zone if you want your child to go do French immersion. So to get specific about the home types, we'll focus on just the public school, not the French immersion catchment zone. The neighborhood's primarily made up of detached homes, although you will find pockets of townhomes as well. And those detached homes can go anywhere from $850,000 up to $1.4 million as of April. No reported sales on the townhome side, but just below, creeping into that range for a townhome in the area. Now, what is close to this location? You are much closer to Taunton Road, so you have access fairly easily to any of the shopping across Taunton. As you'll see, there's a couple schools that are in North Whitby that I have access to, kind of the big box stores. So you're talking your Old Navies, your Home Senses, your Winners, Farm Boy, Superstore, Walmart, Metro, all this shopping up along that stretch. So you have access to all that stuff. You're also within about a 10-minute drive of Lake Ridge Health Oshawa, which is one of the bigger hospitals in the area. And again, something to keep in mind, I look at it as a positive because I know my little one really loves going here to check this place out, but the Oshawa Airport is not too far either. It's a 5-minute drive from the neighborhood. And so again, Pros and cons there. Pros, free entertainment for the little ones. Cons, if you are not liking the noise of planes flying over, especially in the summertime, something you just want to keep in mind. Again, that is the John Dryden Public School area. Third on our list of the top public elementary schools in Whitby is going to be Jack Minor Public School. So we are eclipsing through to the 8 out of 10 rankings now. This is rated an 8.2 out of 10, and it is 228th in the province out of those 3,000-ish schools. So it's located in the Williamsburg neighborhood, and the catchment zone is defined as Taunton to the north, Lynn Creek to the west, Rosslyn to the south, and Brock Street to the east. The school itself serves 420-ish students from kindergarten through to grade 8, and it feeds into Donald A. Wilson Secondary School. So whether you're looking for a detached home, a townhome, semi-condo, this neighborhood has something to offer for everybody. Price ranges vary from $822,000 to $1 million for one of those townhomes, and from about $950,000 to $1.7 million for a detached. And again, that's going back to the beginning of April. Now, if you're commuting to and from Toronto, a cool perk about this neighborhood that's just very recent is that the 412 is not too far from the north part of that neighborhood. So you just hop onto Taunton, you're a quick jaunt over to the 412, which is now toll-free, shaves off some of that commute time. So that's kind of a nice thing. Again, outdoor lovers will also appreciate the neighborhood with Lynn Creek being so close by, beautiful like walking areas through there, as well as Haberdown Conservation Area, which is just on the other side of Taunton Road. The runner-up on our list of the top schools for 2022 in Whitby, Ontario is going to be Earl A Fairman Public School. It's rated an 8.4 out of 10, and that puts it inside the top 200 out of the 3,000 schools in 169th place. The school is located right in downtown Whitby near Dundas and Brock Street. The catchment zones for Fairman are again Lynn Creek to the west, some train tracks to the north, that's the cutoff. Then you have Brock Street to the east and Dundas Street to the south. The school serves 250 students, so it's on the smaller side from kindergarten to grade 8, and you will be feeding into Henry Street High School from here. When you're talking home types, again, you have townhomes, you have condo townhomes, you have detached homes. Those are all options for somebody looking to move into this neighborhood. And sale prices over the last 2 months, again, on the townhome side, you're looking between $890,000 to $930,000 since the beginning of April, and for the detached stuff, you're looking kind of $980,000-ish, bordering up on that million to $1.35 million. Again, the easiest thing here is that you're so close to downtown Whitby, historic downtown Whitby, just to experience those shops, cafes, things to do in that area. Being more south, you're also not as far from getting down to the lake and some of the nice lake trails there. You're also a little closer to the 401 for those commuters being kind of more on the south side of town. Lastly, and I wish we had a drum roll for this one, it is the number 1 school for 2022, and that is Fallingbrook Public School. It's rated an 8.8 out of 10, and it actually breaks the top 100 schools in the province that are rated. So it is coming in at number 97, just squeaking inside that top 100. The school is located in North Whitby, just south of Taunton Road. So we're not talking Brooklyn, which you would have to go north of the 407. It is still Whitby proper, just south of Taunton Road, like I said, at Taunton and Garden Street. The school boundaries here are going to be Taunton to the north, Garden Street to the west, Thixon to the east, and Dryden to the south. There's also a newer development on the southeast corner of Dryden and Thixon that has fallen within this catchment zone now. The school itself serves 410-ish students from kindergarten through grade 8 and feeds into Sinclair Secondary School, which is actually right on the other side of Taunton Road pretty much from Fallingbrook. So close proximity to the high school as well, as opposed to some of the other feeder schools, which are a bit further away, still not crazy far obviously, but again, pretty close proximity to the high school as well. So the neighborhood surrounding Fallingbrook is mostly detached homes with a smattering of semis in there too. But the standard home, I would say, is a 4-bedroom detached home, and it's built up really any time from the late 80s to much more recently in that newer pocket I was talking about near Dryden and Thixon. And prices here in the last couple of months have ranged anywhere from kind of $1 million to $1.5 million. So similar to John Dryden and some of the other more north zones, you have access to everything along Taunton Road, which is the big sell here. You know, anything you really will need is conveniently within a pretty quick drive of where you're at. I really hope this video has given you some great value and some insight as to the top schools in Whitby, Ontario, and just also shed a little light on the homes in the neighborhood, as well as some things to do, some of the benefits of being in each of these neighborhoods. If you have more questions about, prices, what are they doing now, Just for reference, I'm filming in June 2022. We're referencing prices going far back as April 2022, so trying to keep it pretty recent. But we know prices are always changing. Always feel free to reach out. I'd love to keep you posted on what is going on in these neighborhoods. All my contact information is down below in the description of the video, and I look forward to speaking with you soon about making your move to Whitby. Until we chat again, stay safe, and cheers.